Hi everybody, welcome back to another weekly manga reading log. Let's get this out, we're gonna read that. And this week I read a lot. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 manga. I think I read that amount last time too, or something close to that. But I had a little bit more series involved. This is going to be a little shorter because, well, I only read 4 series, so let's start with One Punch Man. One Punch Man, 8 through 17, pretty much covers Season 2. 17, halfway through, starts what will become Season 3. One Punch Man was awesome. I actually liked this set better than I liked even the anime. So I felt like this manga was better than the anime itself was. And again, it's got these sick dual spreads, cover page spreads. Watchman Dog is like a total insane dog, as per usual. There's a bunch of bonus manga as well in here. You know, you don't get those stories from the anime as well, which are pretty funny, some of them. Some of them are like really cool. Some of them expand further on the backstory. Watching Goketsu just totally tool on Suiryu, or however you say his name, Water Dragon Man, was just absolutely insane. He just straight up tortures him, and it is conveyed much better in the manga than the anime. But I loved it. It was so good. You've gotta read it. If you've watched Season 2, you absolutely have got to read these manga from One Punch Man. And another thing I really liked about this fight, which they kind of lose on the anime, is when they show Chiranko, which is of course you know, Saitama, you know, pair up against Suiryu, however you say his damn name. It cracked me up because they show the difference in art styles. Let's see, I believe it's when he gets his shirt ripped off. I'm just looking for that one scene where they really lose this effect in the anime, which is like really too bad because it's like such a funny scene to like showcase, you know, the differences between the two of them. I wish I would have paid more attention to where I was in the story when I saw that scene, but oh, right here. But I mean, Suiryu is like totally detailed. You can see wrinkles in his clothes and shininess and the muscle detail and hair strands, but you know, Saitama or Chiranko just looks totally like a fool. He's got circles for hands, no details, and completely flat. It's hilarious. But that's kind of it for standout moments in One Punch Man, I would say, when I was reading through it. You know, there's obviously a lot more if you haven't seen Season 2 that's going on in this anime / manga. You know, it's hilarious to see King. His origin stories in Volume 8. You can find out that he's not really strong or even really a hero. He's a total coward and just an otaku who plays video games, and you know, he just wins. He's pretty much like a parasite. He gets all of Saitama's achievements recorded under his own just by being in the right place at the right time, and that's kind of how King becomes famous, which is pretty funny. But yeah, definitely worth a read if you haven't read these. Much better than the anime. Even the paneling is really good. It's like on par, I'd say, with Dragon Ball's paneling. You can like really follow it really well to see how everything goes. Makes the action scenes really flow nice and smooth. Next we have Quintessential Quintuplets, of course. You know, I'm always reading the Quints. And the Quints go on another field trip with Futaru or Futaru? How do I always forget this? I know it's Futaru. Whoop. Yeah, Futaru. Okay. You know, things, of course, progress. The sisters let, you know, not Nino, god damn, I've read this at the beginning of the week, as you can probably tell. Miku, they let Miku kind of give out her feelings to Futaro. and they show her how they do it. This was okay, but one twist that I didn't really see coming is that Yotsuba is actually Reina. That I didn't see coming at all. I thought for sure it was Itsuki. So now I don't know if it's going to be Itsuki or Yutaba who's going to be marrying him. You know, I thought this volume was really okay. It was not bad, but it wasn't great. It was just okay. So far, Quince has been a series that I would just really describe as it's okay. You know, should you go out and read Quince? I'd say, you know, if you really like romances, sure. If you don't really like romances that much, probably not. This isn't going to change your mind on it. It's just okay. You know, it's just fine. It's not anything that I would really get too excited about. Personally, if I wasn't into romances, I'm not really into romances, you know, I kind of am. I like a good romantic comedy here and again. The story, if, you know, the earlier volumes didn't kind of hook me, I would have probably, you know, if it was like this the whole time through, I probably wouldn't have really kept reading it at this point. I probably would go a much slower pace or just not buy them all. But there's a lot of hype behind the series. In the beginning, I can kind of see why a little bit more, but as things go on, it just is okay, more and more so. But that's fine, you know. Not every manga can be amazing. But some people do really love this manga. If you're really into romance, I can see it being really good. Since you don't really know how it's going to go, it's totally a mystery. That's what's really got me kind of hooked in it at this point, is kind of the mystery element to it about who he marries. So that is interesting to me, but otherwise it's not too crazy. On the other hand, Blue Period, I decided to read finally. This is crazy to me. This is excellent. This is so good. This high school guy who's like perfect at everything and is a total delinquent. Fucking, he draws this picture of blue, and then, like, you know, everybody is like, "Oh, that's blue. That's pretty cool blue." And so he's like, wow, so maybe I'm an okay artist, but like I want to get better. Like I really had a good time expressing my feelings. It's the first time I felt like I ever communicated with somebody, was when I painted this blue. And so he tries to get better and better at art, and he wants to become an artist and go to Tokyo University Art School. But the downside to that is he's embarrassed to tell his parents, because his parents want him to go to a good school since his parents don't have any money. And he feels like his parents are relying on him in the future in order to survive. Which really isn't like a good thing, but I get it. Like, he doesn't want to disappoint his parents. He's doing super good in school. He's like ranked number 4 in the whole school. He's an honor student. You know, he's got all of these good things going for him. Like, why not be a doctor? Why not do this and that? But, like, you know, he's following his dreams. He's following his passion. And so, you know, he gives props for that. But the art in itself in this manga is amazing. The art pieces the artist draws in this manga is fantastic. And the story itself is like so relatable. Like, his friends are the biggest bunch of dude bros you'd ever dude bro with. If you're like a guy or a girl who has hung out with a bunch of guys before, you know this is exactly how high school or maybe earlier college students exactly act. They act identically to his friend. They go and say words like facts to each other. They say, dude, this guy is like a loser, and like they knock each other for like like showing weakness, but they also like encourage each other for like following their dreams. But they're like too embarrassed to tell them that and things like that. It's pretty good. Like, I felt like this was a really good portrayal of like high school and like also college. So like a real portrayal, not like Random Blue Dreaming where it's like if college was party 24/7, which sadly college isn't party town 24/7. But it, you know, depending on what you go in there for, you can party, you know, 23/7. So, but for the next volume I read and the last one, Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, this was great. It always is. Why is it always great? Because this artist, this author, this mangaka, Satoshi Mizukami, is a genius. But pretty much all this does is introduce you to the other knights and the mage himself. You find out why the owl and how the owl is a traitor. The owl doesn't really work for anybody, friend. You see the mage and the golems and kind of the sense behind it. you also learn what the Wind God's last wish was, and it was to give the main character his power. But since it's just like a Goku Black or Ginyu Goku scenario, you know, they don't know how to, he doesn't know how to use the power, so he's not very good. He's not at all like the God of Wind because he can't use it very well yet. So he has to train in order to be able to use his power that he's received. There are a few more introductions of the Allies of Justice in here, which I thought was cool. I thought it was just that one character. I'm glad that it's multiple people to carry on as well. So that's great. You know, this is going to the right direction if you ask me. It is not as good as 1 to 2 or Omnibus 1, but this is still a great read. But I think by far my favorite read was Blue Period this week, which I absolutely did not expect. I really just read it because I was like, well, I got volume 1 here, I might as well read it and see if I want to get volume 2. Read it, pre-ordered 2, 3, 4, and ordered 2. Or 3, 4, and ordered 2. So pre-ordered 3 and 4 and ordered 2. So that was fast, you know. So yeah, I can't wait to read more Blue Period when it comes in. It's going to be a while though since I just ordered it. But we'll see how long that takes. One Punch Man was a solid action read. I flew through these volumes, of course. You know, it's just intense. I've been slogging through Quints, and Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer is hard for me to read. Not because it's not interesting, but because it's a lot of text, and I try to hold this book very carefully as to not bend the spine and increase it. So I read it like this, you know, and it makes my arms a little tired and my eyes a little more tired. But otherwise, you know, this was a great week. Let me put these aside so I can show you what I'm going to read next week. Oh, and also something I noticed is like Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer is shorter than like the average volume, which is a little odd to me, but whatever. Anyways, up we go. Let's show you what I'm reading next week. So, I am going to be finishing my main man, Saitama. One Punch Man is getting finished. Okay, guys? We are finishing these last 4 volumes of Saitama, of One Punch Man, right here. It's cool how this makes a fist. It's weird that it didn't make a picture the whole time through. But that's okay, I guess. Here are the covers for it. Oh, and this is actually cool. This is a real thing. This is called a subconch hemorrhage. Happens on the eye if you have like throwing up a lot or a lot of pressure to the eye, or you get punched in the eye. And he's got blood mixed into his hair. That's going on with Garo. 19, 20, and 21. That'll get me all caught up to the American lands. I'll also be reading the Quints, the Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Let's just leave it there. And I'll probably end up starting Law of Ueke. Law of Ueke, if nobody's ever read it, is great. It's kind of similar to Zatch Bell in the fact that these guys get powers and the winner becomes the Celestial King. But each time they defeated an opponent, they actually gained the opponent's power as well. So his power is to turn trash into plants or trees, okay? It's great. I've never read the whole thing, but I read a lot of it. I actually bought the rest of it a while ago just so I could have the whole series and read the whole thing through. Last time I checked, this is still in pretty easy stock to find. If you've never heard of it or never read it, strongly recommend picking it up. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome series. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys had a good time watching. I hope everyone has a good start of the week, and happy reading. Bye.